All right, welcome to this video. My name is Carol, and in today's video I'm literally prepared the biggest bang. I'm so proud to present this, and I'm really stoked to share you all of this value and sauce in this one. So in this video we're going to talk about generating $100 million leads for your coaching business. And obviously this is, this title is heavily inspired on Hormozi's newest book launch, but you got to do what you got to do for getting clicks. So in this video, I'm going to systematically break down the exact steps you need to implement to book prospects for 5 to 10K deals in your DMs, right? So I'm going to show you the exact acquisition and lead gen strategy in order to get people to reach out. And also I'm going to show you the exact script template you need to do in the DMs, how to track it in order to actually get, convert people from just reaching out into your calendar and ready to buy programs. Anyway, I'm also going to show you how to minimize your time talking to unqualified people by implementing a 3-step doctor flow. So get ready for this one. We got, what is it? Like 18 pages, I believe, right? So pro tip, watch this video at 1.5x speed and keep it full screen to remove any distractions, and just consume this in double time so you can have, so you can implement stuff faster basically. And if you want this document right here, just DM me Drive on IG and I will literally give you access to my master drive full of all the training documents I've ever done. And as always, remember to subscribe and engage for weekly videos just like this one, breaking down every insight I'll ever get from investing or funnel hacking the most successful gurus in the online space right now. That being said, let's dive in. So don't worry, this is pretty much for everyone and in any stage of the business, as I'm going to cover each approach as best as I can. So if you're a coach, consultant, and even service-based business owner who already have an audience, who don't have an audience but have spare capital, and also for the people who reach out to me a lot, the people who don't have an audience and don't have spare capital for marketing, I got you all. And in today's video, I'm going to break down exactly how, wherever you are right now, you can implement this strategy to get more inbound leads. Cool. So as I said, my goal is to make sure that you understand the core principles that will make you become a DM specialist and become so good that in a couple of weeks you can teach a commission-based setter to take over for you once the framework is dialed in, and completely remove yourself from the acquisition part basically, right? We don't want to be stuck in our DMs every single day. So I personally believe that DM setting, sorry about that. I personally believe that DM setting is the foundational skill set that makes it unreasonable for anyone running a business not to be successful and become a multiple six-figure earner. And I'm actually sorry to break it to you, but people don't check your websites, your hundreds of sublinks you have right now, in your link tree or just in your website to begin with, unless you're actually running direct response marketing towards these platforms, right? So spending your time on building fancy websites, logos and stuff like that, right, won't help you with anything. And trust me, this comes from someone with a degree in UX design, right? So as hard it is for me to accept, websites will only get less and less important moving forward. So kind of wasted my time on that one, but no, I'm kidding. Of course, if you're running ads, websites will be beneficial for you, but right now your Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube channel is going to be your funnels, right? In 9 out of 10 cases, it's going to be like that, right? People are not even checking your website and buying your 10K program anyways. So that's just like the thought for you here. Anyway, let's start with how to generate lead flow in the DMs. So owning attention and just introducing you to the term warm outreach. So just like in real estate, right, locating location or being able to locate, a property, same thing here, being able to locate the prospect is the most important thing. And there's no point in trying to become a shark at DM appointment setting if you don't have people reaching out to you in the first place. So it's important to ask yourself what channel, what messaging, and what angle is most effective when it comes to finding, people in my niche, and where can you easily contact these people at scale. So I will try to go over it in this video, but I have an in-depth step-by-step breakdown on my entire golden net system, including content scripts and calendar to generate leads organically. Link down in the description that goes over, goes in depth in more of the content side of things. And you can watch it just by clicking the, either pinned comment or description down below. It's called the best TikTok, Instagram sales funnel in my YouTube channel. But essentially, it's a 3-step process, right? You gotta generate attention, capture it, and give it so much fucking value that they need to learn more by reaching out to you. So I've built a flowchart to actually be visual with this. I'm really proud of it, actually. It's a little bit funny, but hopefully you'll get what I'm about to explain. So the reason why I call it the golden net funnel is, maybe you know it by now, because you're throwing a net all over your socials and kind of funneling them back into your ecosystem, where you feed them with your content and your trainings and your PDFs, and then use hand raisers and 2-step posts to actually, have them reach out to you. So don't worry, I'll break down everything slowly, so hang in there. So I also included how much you need to do of each thing, but basically, let's say you want to do it organically, right? You don't have the capital for ads right now, but you have time, you don't really have an audience. Well, here's my fast track for you to actually go ahead and build up an audience. And the only two things that will help you right now build up your audience, other than carousels and all of that stuff, is fast-paced visual aesthetic content, right? So if you're a fitness coach, then doing fast-paced workouts, whatever, right? That stuff is usually performing really, really well. And 2 to 3 minute raw TikToks where you just break down something. It could be a case study, or it could be something like you breaking down let's say a myth in the industry right now, or a news, something relevant that just happened right now, right? Where you just remove your background and kind of point towards stuff. For some reason, mid-form content is doing really, really well for coaches on TikTok right now. So whenever you get the idea to do one of these, just take up your phone and do that. So for fast-paced visual aesthetic content, do that 3 to 5 times a week. For the TikTok breakdowns, do those 1 to 2 times a week, or whenever you basically get that idea. And ideally, you want to make lead magnets and free trainings just like this video right here, 2 to 4 times per month minimum. Let me see if I can just full screen this. Cool. So that's kind of the approach I would take if I were to build up my audience as fast as possible and as qualified as possible, without overthinking my content too much, right? If you want the exact scripts and stuff like that, watch my other video, but this is the high level view of what you should be doing. 3 to 5 times a week, fast-paced visual aesthetic content, 2 to 3 minute raw TikToks, really almost like a one-on-one session, or actually showing something that not is here's how to get rid of your 10 pounds of body fat or something like that. And then the lead magnets and free trainings where you actually provide value, stuff like this, right? I've literally worked on this video for almost a week now, just to provide as much value as possible and just show that I'm willing to go the extra mile other than all the other people. And the last thing, if you have the capital, which I highly, highly recommend you do, so figure out where is your audience located, right? Where are you currently getting clients? Is that from Instagram, or is it from Facebook groups? If you're doing the old Facebook group funnel, well, you can launch Facebook group ads where you just get more and more people, right? $2 to $4 per lead. Same thing with Instagram follower ads. If you're doing business on Instagram right now, then create ads where basically just, give out a lot of value, and at the end say, follow up with my page to learn more about this, go through my past content, whatever. Do one or two of these per day and boost those, or in case you're doing the Facebook group thing, then do it through Ads Manager. It shouldn't take you more than 1 YouTube search anyway, right? People make it seem like this is a holy grail or something, but you can literally search it up on YouTube and figure out how to do it. So next up is, now you do all of this, you're getting a ton of eyeballs, and if you structure your videos right, as I show you to do, you'll start getting people in your email list with the lead magnets. You'll start getting people as followers on TikToks with this, probably Instagram followers, and here group members and Instagram followers as well, right? We're throwing a big ass net on all of your social channels, and we want to get as many people in our ecosystem. I don't care if you use email list, Facebook group, Instagram, Facebook followers, whatever it's called, right? TikTok followers, etc. We just want to get them in our ecosystem, and then we can nurture them and, have them centralized at one place. Now, once we have them in our ecosystem, we want to provide them with some, I like to say it like as a fish container or something, right? In this example here. So now we have them in this fish container, this aquarium. We also want to make sure that we feed our ecosystem and actually make it, grow and make it pretty in there. So now it's important that the content you do for these types of people, you also consider that in your strategy. So that's more authority-based content where, basically like educate and show that you're actually an expert in your field, and actually like, I like to say that you need to mirror your service just in a small format on your videos, right? So don't be afraid to hold back here. So do short form videos where you actually like talk about some insight you just had with the client, make YouTube trainings explaining exactly how you made Bob lose 10 pounds of muscle, or sorry, fat and gain 10 pounds of muscle. Break down your case studies, and also like use your highlights and stories here. So if you're having, just a minute. So if you're having daily calls with your clients, right, share insights from those. If you're having wins, then screenshot the wins in your Slack channel or wherever you're having your client communication, stuff like that. Always show what you're doing and nurture people just like that. Now, at some point, right, people will get really, really warm, right? Every lead has their own nurturing time, and I kind of explained that in another video as well. So as long as they're in your ecosystem, don't really stress it too much. As long as you're providing value in here for these types of people, right, you will start to see people showing interest. But here's the thing. People won't, some people will, but it's rarely people is going to like out of nowhere just like, okay, that's it, I'm going to reach out to this person right now. You got to make yourself visible in some kind of way, or just like make them raise their hand just a little bit for them to show interest. So for this, you can do hand raisers, you can do retargeting ads, warm outreach, and two-step posts, okay? I'll just break down each of them. So hand raisers is more like Instagram story posts and stuff like that. So, hey, would you be interested in seeing how Bob lost 10 pounds of muscle? If yes, vote in this poll, right? Lost 10 pounds of muscle, lost 10 pounds of fat and gained 10 pounds of muscle, right? Vote yes in the poll, and I'll send it over to you, right? You can then send over the breakdown and start a conversation. And I'm showing the exact conversational flow in a minute, so just hang on. But yeah, that was just an example. Retargeting ads, kind of the same thing, right? Just make it automatic, right? Automate it just by having it as ads. So it could be something like, if you're tired of XYZ and you've been following me for, if you're following me and you're tired of this and this and this and that, then go ahead and DM me the word whatever, right? And I'll send you over a free guide. So you can have that running for like $10 a day to your current followers. So that's kind of backwards effect. So you want to run it like this, right? To have all the people that is in our ecosystem, we want to retarget those and kind of, just have them reach out to us to get some kind of asset, right? We want to have them show interest that are actually willing to learn more than you just have on your front end on your, on your platforms. Then there's warm outreach, which has been surprisingly the biggest factor for my clients specifically, and also for myself, to be honest, to get more people, on the calendar. And warm outreach is just sending out an opener to people who join your ecosystem. I'm going to show you on all the platforms examples of openers, but it's just reaching out and saying, hey, I appreciate you actually joining my ecosystem. Just with other words, but you kind of get the deal here. Two-step posts, so that's like hand raisers just for Facebook, right? Facebook or Twitter or something like that. You could like take a screenshot or something of something you created, maybe a lead magnet, and say, hey, just created this, who wants it? Comment down below, right? People will say like interested, and you just reach out to all of them. They basically give you permission to reach out to them. Same thing with the hand raisers. Now, at this point, you're starting conversations, or if they've just like gotten so much value of your assets, right? Sales assets here, they will book a call. So depending on, where they're at in their buyer journey, they will either book a call or start a conversation. But if they start a convo with you and you implement the stuff I'm about to share with you, you will book them on a call anyway. So that's kind of the sauce for you. right? And I will go back to this one in a minute, but I will just kind of complete the circle here and show you a little bit more about how to do warm outreach. Because if you're not getting leads to reach out to you every single day, even though you implement all of this, you need to start conversations at scale. That's like the biggest job for you right now. That is to start combos at scale. And make sure you're not spending hours and trying to figure out where your first message should be and stuff like that, right? Figure out where your audience is located and reach out to them. That's it. Same principle. I don't care where your followers or your tribe is at. Is it Instagram, Facebook, friends, group members, email list? Reach out to them. So don't overthink it. Is the only reason why you're doing this is to appear in front of them in a one-on-one setting, just giving them the option to actually go ahead and communicate with you. So if you ever follow me, and you'll probably notice that I've reached out to you and created a tiny bit of familiarity by just thanking you for becoming part of my audience in some kind of way. And as I said, I will give you some examples down here, but here's the exact framework that Homozy mentions and literally battle tested to work, and it's pretty similar to mine. So, hey name, how you found them, personalized compliment, question. As simple as that. So if you're some kind of spirituality coach, I like to give like random examples here, and you get an Instagram follower, Facebook follower, Twitter follower, or engagement. You could be like, hey Carol, thank you so much for watching the videos or following along. Noticed your recent post about being stressed. Have you started doing our affirmations yet? Right? So if they engage with some kind of affirmations post, this will create a lot of familiarity here. If it's like a Facebook group, Discord, or school community, you could say something similar to this. Hey Carol, I just wanted to personally welcome you in the, whatever community, and saw you selected yes regarding wanting more info about some kind of need. Still want this, right? So when you get the option to join a Facebook group, you can have like a small form just saying, hey, I'm actually giving out for example, my master drive. Is it cool that I send it over to you? Then if they vote yes, well, then you can go ahead and use this opener, and you already created a ton of familiarity here, and they will reply to you. Same thing here, right? As long as you're creating a lot of familiarity, right? People know why you're reaching out to them. Their like guards will be much lower than if you just cold outreach them, as a lot of people are telling is the best way. And I've done it and it works, but cold outreach is just like the mindset of you entering is really, really hard. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well, but that's just my honest opinion. The next one is like, I shouldn't even share this. I'm honestly like, I've debated if I should share it or not, but anyway, it's like, hey Carol, I'm thinking about doing a virtual event, breaking down, and this is literally like plug and play for whatever is working in your niche. How Bob lost 20 pounds of fat and gained 10 pounds of muscle in under 90 days. It's free, you in. This is like the perfect example of a two-step post. Now, you're just telling them to get it, you gotta become an inbound lead. That's the rules I'm playing, brother. So, you can either say, DM me in on Instagram here, and just link your Instagram, or join my Facebook group to get more details if that's where your audience is located. I don't really care, as I said. You could even do both, but I don't like to give them choice fatigue. Just choose one of them and kind of go from there. And as I said, I probably shouldn't share this one, but if you have a list and you don't know what to do with that list, let's say you have like a 200-300 people, like go ahead, pause this video right now, copy paste this thing right here, and send it over and thank me later, basically. Now, all of these are what I call openers. We're not trying to sell anything. We're just wanting to educate people with our assets. And we want to have them say, yes, I want to see this asset, and not like pushing them in front of their face. So the reason why we want to do this at scale is that we want to create enough leads every day to generate enough discussions and responses. That's how it is, right? The more input you do, the bigger the net you throw every single day, the bigger output you will get, right? So the bigger output of combos and people booking calls you will get. And most people don't understand the importance of volume, and that's why they go out of business, right? Internally, we understand the importance of volume, so we focus on doing enough volume in a single day to make it unreasonable for us and our clients not to get, 30% or more people that we contacted to respond, right? That's like our minimum baseline goal. If we hit that, then we know that we can convert at least 30 or 50% of those onto a call. And then it's just up to your sales skills and your pre-call sequence on how many people you can actually go ahead and convert into clients. And if you're not getting more than 30% of people to respond, well, it's either because your message is wrong or you're in the wrong platform, right? If you're signing clients on Instagram right now and some guru told you to do Facebook groups, but you're not signing clients there, like, what are you even fucking doing, right? I know you should diversify and be on all platforms, but if you have something that works, just stick to it for now. If you're like 20, 30K, then we can talk about diversifying and kind of, building all of that up. But right now we should just be hyper focused, one funnel, 1 million, one offer, one funnel, 1 million, right? Or your profile is just really bad. You have, shitty content and stuff like that. Sorry, but, people judge on that. So your goals should be at least to start 5 to 10 conversations every day that you can hopefully convert into a meeting with the frameworks I'm going to show you and walk you through in this video. And if you're not like conversing and not having a one-on-one setting with 5 to 10 people every single day, how would you expect to close deals? Like, it's necessary for someone to be in a one-on-one setting with either you, your setter, or your closer in order to become a client, right? For them to just watch your video and become a client and pay 10K is like really hard if you're not having like, huge amounts of social proof. So here's some interesting stuff I want to share, because we want to create trust as soon as possible and move the prospects from the reptilian brain onto the rational brain. So this is not some woo-woo shit. It's actually like human psychology. So, just give this a listen, because this might surprise you. So if you want someone to pay attention to you and trust you enough to understand that you actually can help them, help their business or help their life, whatever it is, you need to make sure that they're in the right state of mind. A lot of people don't understand this, and that's why they can't make their outreach work, even if their lives were on the line. Because there's 3 levels of the brain, right? There's the first level, which, people like to call the croc brain or the reptilian brain, which is, instinctual, as has the sole purpose to keep you away from danger, right? That's like the first layer of the brain we've ever developed, and we got that from like, all the way back from the lizards and stuff like that. Then with time, we started developing the limbic brain, which is like our emotions and our feelings and kind of, deciding how we act on a lot of stuff. And then, with the humans evolving, we started evolving on the neocortex, which is the newest part of the brain, right? All of the blue stuff here, which is our rational thinking and our logic, right? And the number one thing that needs to be happen before a stranger can respond to your DMs or even do business with you is that they need to feel like they can trust you. And let me just nail down the point here with 2 examples, right? Scenario 1, you get an ad, some kind of marketer, let's say it's me, promising you leads for your business. So let's say, hey, if you're an online coach, I'll promise you this and this and that. The only thing you need to do is sign up right down below and stuff like that, right? Like what is the percentage of you actually going ahead and signing up with this? You might do it, right? It does work for some people, but let's go for scenario 2. One of your best friends, who also happens to be in the online space. Maybe they're a coach as well. They learn about your lead issues and send you a link to, my 43-minute training of me breaking down everything you need in order to generate leads for free. And I end up sending you a warm outreach because you decide to follow me. Like, the information of these 2 situations will be processed differently, and certain levels of the brain will be prioritized for each of these scenarios. And when doing any form of outreach, warm or cold, added organically, we need to create the second situation more frequently than the first one. Because if I reach out to you and say, hey man, thank you so much for engaging with my videos, and you've actually like enjoyed watching 43 minutes, you spent 43 minutes of me teaching you something that you can actually go ahead and implement and make more money, why shouldn't you just say, of course man, I really enjoyed that training you just did the other day? And that's like your one-on-one setting created just right there. And it shouldn't be more complicated than that. So how can we create social context as soon as possible and make the prospects trust us? Now this is where I want to introduce you to the 3-step doctor flow. We want to appear, we want to diagnose whatever is wrong with them, or like, in terms of them getting to their goal, and we want to give them our treatment. But we want to do it very low-key, and I'm going to show you why. So just to make sure that credit is given where is due, this flow is based on a mix of 2 frameworks I've studied from 2 different mentors. One is Taki Moore, right, famous in the coaches space, and one being Serge Guattari, right, 7-figure entrepreneurs, both of them. Serge is more like a consulting thing, right? I've been in his program, really cool stuff. So the first objective is simply just appearing, right? We just talked about this. Your content, opt-ins, ads, outreach, doesn't really matter. We want to get people in our DMs. Next thing is having the conversation start. This is obviously where either they shoot you an opener like, hey, I'd like to learn more, or you shoot them one like, hey, I appreciate you joining my ecosystem. And I know it can seem tempting to just go for the call from the get-go, but unless you have a low-ticket offer, please follow the structure. There's no reason to come off as desperate and, oh, you reach out, here, buy my program, right? We want to ease down. We want to show them that, it's a process to start working with us. We want to figure out, we don't want to waste our times with people who don't really know. Whenever you drop the price, they're going to be like, oh, I expected it to be so much less. Like, that's the worst reaction to get, because they literally devalue your service in front of your eyes, right? We don't want to have that happen. So use one of the openers I've included in this doc, or use assets plus ads for people to, reach out to, right? We ideally want to do both, because then we are talking. And number 2, we want to ask them a qualifying question that is not too salesy. A good one is using the this, that approach. And as it's been battle tested, right? I got this from Taki Moore, it's really cool, to give you the highest reply rate. And I'm going to show you like an actual example here. So if they reached out to you to get one of your assets, the best possible opener from your end would be, and starting here, right? So let's say you're an investing coach. So someone reached out saying like, either like, I think, in this case, I've just made an example of someone requesting an asset. So like, hey X, thank you so much for reaching out. Here's a link. For context, are you just getting started with investing, or are you actively investing right now? As simple as that. You give them what they ask for, and you give them a this and that, right? We want to provide them the answers, and their only mission or their only job now is just to choose one of them. Like, how hard can it be? And it's super clean, because this is not selling. You're actually trying to figure out where they're at. So now you appeared and you're giving them the this and that. So now we want to start the diagnosing slowly, right? We want to do what I call the biz risk. And we want to kind of warm them up. So next thing there's left to figure out their goal and see if we can help them bridge the gap. So they might say, yeah, just getting started with investing. And this can be like a red flag depending on how much your program is worth. Let's say you are doing high ticket. Then we want to figure out, okay, well, let's see if they're actually qualified. So acknowledge whatever they said, and then ask them some kind of qualifying, some kind of goal setting question, just to set up the qualifying question afterwards. So I would say something like, how big of a portfolio are you working on building in the next couple of years, right? So they would say some kind of goal. They'll reveal some kind of goal. Doesn't really matter what they say here, but of course it's going to be high or something. And then, okay, cool. Well, how much capital are you investing right now? So let's say they say 2K per month, then you know that these people have the capital to invest in your service. Let's say your coaching program is, I don't know, 300 a week or 500, 600 a week. Then, if they're investing that money, then they could probably also afford your service. So now they'll reveal if they're qualified, but very low key, and you can then acknowledge whatever they said. And you can figure out what is their need, right? So now we know what kind of they need help with, and then we've got to figure out what they think they need. And this is the best thing you could ever do. Just ask them whatever they need, right? You don't want to convince them, or you just want to ask your prospect, what do you think you need? In most cases, they actually know whatever they need. So whatever they say here is going to be your best time possible doing what you're best at, and that is helping. Have that mindset when you're setting appointments. because this flow is heavily reliant on sending them assets to nurture them on their exact need, instead of you trying to convince them or some bullshit that other gurus teach you to do. So if you don't have the assets yet that cover your prospects' goals or needs, or whatever they're struggling with, this is the perfect time for you to do market research and actually do find content ideas that you can send them over to nurture moving forward. So again, just to reiterate, don't try to sell, educate, but do it in a sneaky way, right? Just like take a notice of my videos. I give a ton of value, and then at the end, I'm saying like, this is how we do it, and this is the benefits of becoming a client. This is all the work we take, etc., etc., etc. And then I kind of pitch the call as well. So you can kind of do it like that. Give shit ton of value in these videos, right? Explain them exactly how they can get to whatever they mention, and just like have a call to action at the end. Like we've done it a million times before, right? We have the social proof. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Stop the obscurity. Book a call with me. Don't say it like that, obviously, but that's just kind of the goal of the videos. So just leverage content. Don't overcomplicate it, please, right? So say something like, oh, okay, cool. Well, now we know their need. So, okay, cool. Well, I recently made a video. Let's say actually their problem is lead flow. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I recently made a video on how you can improve your lead flow. I think it'd be helpful if I send it over. Maybe they even said that they don't have money for ads. Well, you can say, okay, well, I recently made a video going over how you can improve your lead flow in the next 30 days without spending a dime on ads. Think that would be helpful for you to send it over? Who would say no to this? Right? But you need to ask them for this, and you need to wait for the response in order to send them the video. Because if they say yes, then they've started their yes train and they actually committed to this. And now 8 out of 10 people will actually watch the video. If you just sent the link right away, then a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm just with the kids right now, maybe watch it later, and then they forget, and then, it's how it is. So you can say something like, or at least I say something like, dope, you can check it out here. This approach has helped, my client this and this and that, do this and this and that. Just let me know when you watched it. Now, after they watch this video, they've officially turned into a hot lead if you structure the video where you actually give value like you do in this one. So the last thing is just following up with them if they don't reach out themselves with the following questions, right? So say something like, okay, by the way, what are you currently doing to get to the goal? Hope the video was valuable. So now at this point, if they give you a sign of liking the value in the video and they describe whatever they tried so far, you've done it. You've done it, right? They're ready for you to book them in, close them, and yeah. Anyway, what you're gonna do is just say something like, oh, gotcha. Well, I actually help people with this on a one-on-one. Get to their goal in 90 days or less. Could be something like that, right? Are you free to jump on a call sometime this week to see if I can even help you out? Now just wait for them to say yes. Send the calendar link and notice how warm the leads will be moving forward. Because doing it this way, you've sent them so much upfront, you qualified them, and the call would just be a decision-making call instead of something like, yeah, this is my program, this is what you're gonna get, this is what we're going through, right? They watch all of that. They just wanna ask you the last couple of questions, and you wanna actually ask them, because you don't wanna be working with people that you can't even help. So finishing off, right, you should be more than set and ready to scale your own coaching, consulting, or service-based offer organically or with paid acquisition now, right? And I know this might seem good and dandy, but it's hard to implement without giving it a tangible way, spending too much time in the trenches, right? So that's why I made this flowchart, and it will be available in the description down below. Just one thing I want you to remember, that inputs directly correlates to the outputs. So the bigger the net you throw per day, the bigger the pool of fish you'll have to fish from. Remember that. And that is why I always over-deliver on the inputs to make it unreasonable not to get the outputs I set with the clients. Right, so just to kind of give you an overview of how we do it internally, to maybe give you a little bit of inspiration here. This is basically all we take care of. So for our clients, how can we figure out a way to give them, content that actually nurtures people, right? So what we do is we have our content writer write 10 or 15 video scripts per week, focused on nurturing. We don't care about going viral at this stage. Of course, if the client don't have the budget for ads, we can allocate some of the video scripts to actually go ahead and hit a broad audience. But usually we are focusing heavily on nurturing. Then we know a bottleneck is, people don't have time creating content. So we install our entire 2-hour per month content system in our clients' businesses. It looks kind of like this, right? You get like a Notion portal full of video ideas, scripts, content calendar, all the reel covers and stuff like that. You've probably seen my reel covers, how sexy they look, right? We'll take care of all of that. And then we'll, sorry about that. Then we'll eat it, and then we'll even take care of your editing, graphic design, and distribution, right? To make it as easy as possible. Then there's email, right? Because a lot of people, they've been launching a ton of lead magnets and then actually build up a list, but they don't know what to do with it. So we come in and we come and launch a couple of email sequences to get you that instant return on your money spent on our program, right? So we'll help you do a lead magnet build out session to build your list rapidly if you don't have one already. And then we will launch hand raiser and price increasing campaigns to your audience to book in a ton of calls and close a lot of deals. So we can give you that instant ROI and just give you that feeling of quick wins. Then there's stuff like ads, right? Even though they might be simple and you can find a lot of YouTube videos on them, there's still a lot of testing involved. So what we do is that we give you access to our proven to work printing ads library, and we also do done for you ad scripts basically. Then we also take care of all the media buying and all the split testing of audience pockets and everything, all of that, to make sure that you're getting the cheapest lead price, cheapest cost per call, etc. Now for the appointment stuff, right, we'll go in and create your own 3-step doctor flow, and we'll place you at $3 an hour VA to keep track of your KPIs, to send your openers across all platforms and keep track of every lead that comes in, right? So it could look something like this, right? They track the ad spend, they track the cost per follower, how many followers you're getting, how many inbounds you're getting, how much warm outreach, how big the convo to DMs to convo percentage is, how many converts we're actually having, how many of those are we getting into calls every single day, right? So, for $25 a week, we'll place you a killer VA who's already been trained on all of this, who will take care of all this for you whenever we start building out your net. And eventually, whenever you get to be a shark at appointment setting, we'll just place one of our commission-based sharks to take care of it for you, and you kind of just removed yourself from our acquisition, right? And all of this is for less than the cost of one client and a strong money-back guarantee, which is insane, right? Because we guarantee profitability. So in worst case scenario, you learn all of my systems, right? You'll get couple of thousands of followers, you will build your email list, you'll get all of this stuff and not pay. Or number two, the best case scenario, you'll add 20, 30, 50K in MRR and have automated your acquisition and content creation for good. And there's no real situation where you can lose, which is the cool thing of it. Anyway, I won't be all day here and pitching you. I just wanted to kind of show how we do it as well for our clients. So really hope this video was valuable for anyone watching this video. I spent a lot of time creating it, and I honestly hope that your time was spent well. Thank you so much for spending it with me, and have a beautiful rest of your week whenever you're watching this video. And please engage with the video, subscribe to the channel to see more of this. Thank you so much, and peace out.